and welcome into Winter 89 Colors. My name is Melissa and I'm here with the requested mini series continuum. Sort of. Right. So the most popular vote went to Rita Berman's Meine, Reise, Durch, Europa. And we're going to do a few of these little minis here. I don't know if we'll do all of them, but we're at least going to do some of them. And I have created a random spinning wheel to decide which one of these we will do. So I'm going to go ahead and spin that now, and we'll decide which one of these little minis we're going to do. Okay, so it looks like we got the little house here, which is kind of nice. I'm looking forward to doing this one, actually. I was kind of hoping it would land on either this one or the tree, or something like that. Yeah, those two are probably my favorites on the page. So let's get started. So I'm going to use, I think I'm gonna use my Albrechtures. No, Polychromos. I'm gonna use Polychromos for this one. So let's zoom in here. Now, I'm gonna try to go with some autumnal colors in this, I think, because here in North America it is autumn, and I would like to go with that theme, I think, for myself. So, yeah. Let's see, what color brick do we want to do? Let's do a darker reddish brick. So let's pull out India red and Pompeian red and beige red. Okay, so that'll be the start of our bricks. I'm just gonna move my camera down just a bit here so that I can bring those down. There we go. Yeah, and then the ground. I'm gonna start with that and bring her down to that. Okay, so let me just make sure I'm all sharpened up here. So how is everyone doing today? Are we excited for this mini series? Are we excited for either spring or autumn, depending on what half of the world you're on? All right, so I've got my India red here. I'm not sure if I've actually used Polychromos in any of Rita Berman's work. I know I've used Albrechtures. So this will be interesting. So, my life, let's see what's going on. I don't have a ton of news for the channel because pretty much everything that you would need to know probably would have been in my completed pages video that I put out just recently. Yeah, I'm gonna try to keep up with these mini series. So I did the chaotic series, as I scene, we did the little autumn mouse. I don't know if that was unpopular. It didn't do too great, and I don't know if that's because people didn't know the artist, the illustrator that I was working on, which was an Etsy artist, or if it's because they didn't like the concept of the chaos, if that intimidated them, and me just kind of casually running around throwing things at the page. You'll have to let me know what you think. If you didn't watch that series, well, it's not like it's a series, it was 2 videos, but if you didn't watch it, is the point, let me know why. Is it because you didn't know of the illustrator or didn't have the illustrator, or was it something else? My last Rita Berman video did very, very well. So I assume that this one will do quite well too, since it was voted in. So it is Thursday. I don't know what day this is going to be going up, but at the time of filming, it is Thursday. So I had group therapy yesterday. Second last one. Then I'm on my own. Scary. But I think I've learned a lot, and hopefully I'll be able to continue my progress and my journey from here. My bunny's angry at me. I can hear her stomping around, chewing on things, because again, she can hear my voice. As soon as I start recording, she can hear my voice, and so she knows that I'm alive over here, and she wants me to feed her. Extra noms, she thinks. All right, so let's think. What else can we do on the channel? So I've got a couple of full-length color-alongs filmed. I just haven't finished editing them yet. I've also got a couple that are already uploaded. I just need to actually post them. They're scheduled to go out, so that's exciting. One of them is a speed color. The other is not. It's a normal color along. Do you guys prefer the mini-series? Or do you prefer full-length color alongs? Is there anything else you want to see on my channel? I was thinking about doing some videos that were not color alongs, but more product related or technique related. I was thinking do a Prisma for beginners based on my own personal opinion and experience with them. Just a quick little roundabout as to things I've learned about how to best utilize them in my coloring. I thought about doing a light source one because I think a lot of people really struggle with their shading based on the fact that they struggle with trying to figure out their light sourcing, which is something I've recently become reasonably adept at, I think. I thought about doing a illustrators I wish I had more of video, because I'd say favorite illustrators, but that's tough because I actually don't own that many books of any one particular illustrator, because I don't have a ton of money. I'm not made of money over here, so I try to buy diverse numbers of books. So I try to, you know, buy one of every recommended illustrator out there, but I don't get a really big sampling of their stuff, if you know what I mean, because I'm so diversified. So I figured if I pick out books that I really like, or illustrators that I really like, and then talk about why I like the books I do have, and you know what books I'd like to get from them, maybe you guys would be interested in seeing that. Okay, so I'm moving to Pompeian Red now. I don't know. Could also do books I'd like to work in more series. I will, hopefully either at the end of this year or the beginning of next, be doing a complete coloring book collection flip through. I will be doing, what do you call it? Completed pages, all completed pages. Because the last time I did that was around this time of year last year. So I figure I've got a lot going on this month. You know, it's Spooktober and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So I figure maybe I'll leave that until the new year when things slow down a little bit in January, February. Give myself some time to work through that and you know, gather all that when I don't have a ton of other projects happening. Would you guys be interested in that? Again, my collection isn't massive, but I do have, I like to think, a reasonable number of completed pages for you to see. And since my number of uncolored books is now so low, it should be a really good variety. Do you find that your coloring tastes change over time? I mean, I'm assuming that everyone's does to a certain extent, but I'm definitely finding that some illustrators that I used to really balk at, you know, that used to really intimidate me, I'm finding more easy to work in, Rita Berman being one of them. Also some illustrators that I just used to find very just weren't my style. You know, my ideas on what that means is changing. So, you know, a book that I had planned to destash some time ago, I pick it up again just to double check before I get rid of it, and I go, oh, actually, there's quite a bit in here that I think I could do now. So I find that very interesting, that my tastes can change so much in, let's say, less than a year, because my YouTube channel has been going for about a year now. Ooh, other exciting things. My goal for the year was to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I am getting really close to that. Thanks to all you, my dear friends out there in the intranets. You've been liking and subscribing to my content, which I thank you for very much. And I'm now well above 900. So it looks like my goal of 1,000 is not far out of reach now. That would be so cool to be able to ring in the new year and my birthday. Even more importantly, my birthday with 1,000. My birthday is at the very end of the year between Christmas and New Year's. I'm a Capricorn. And speaking of, for my birthday, I've devised a birthday coloring bingo for everyone to participate in. So I'll be releasing a video on that as the time gets closer. I've already got the board made up, so be ready for that. So I've got the beige red now. I'm applying a bit harder pressure, not a ton harder because it's Polychromos. You really don't want to press too hard with them, but a little bit firmer pressure to burnish everything out. So my birthday bingo is going to be based on winter, the theme of winter, birthdays, and New Year's. I'm going to steer away from the theme of Christmas because there's so much other Christmas stuff going on around that time of year that it's in no short supply. So you can go elsewhere to find Christmas content, and you don't have to be coming specifically to my channel for that. Second of all, Christmas has always overshadowed my birthday, given the time of year. So I don't want to give it the time of day with that. And third of all, there's lots of people out there that don't celebrate Christmas. So I'd like to think about them a little bit. Sorry about all the Southern Hemisphere people who want to celebrate my birthday. It is, I know, summer for you at that time of year. But hopefully you can still find some things to color that don't put you out of your seasonal mood. I will still be doing as many spring and summer colorings as I possibly can throughout this the end of the year, to try and include all of our Australian, New Zealand, South African, South American friends, and of course everyone else south of the equator. Okay, so there's all our walls done. I'm gonna grab, so this is one of the colors I'm gonna be using for the ground, but I'm gonna start by throwing it in for the bricks here. Okay. Also, I think we'll use this to start the roof. Sorry, I don't know what to talk about, guys. I don't have a ton going on right now. Just sitting at home and, you know, taking care of business, really. Again, money is a big issue. I mean, at least my EI is starting to come in, but it's slow and it's minuscule. They don't give you a ton to work with, that's for sure. I keep wanting to try and buy some things for the channel to have more to show you, different pencils and mediums, but I just can't afford it just yet. So, thanks for being patient with me. We'll get there eventually. I'd love to try some more watercolor paints. Inktense pencils, or just Inktense paints. I saw those are up as well as an option. I just like the idea of it being the ink and the vibrancy that I see on everyone's channel. Some Neocolor 2s. You know, lots of different things out there that I'd love to experiment with. So I've got them on my wish list. Next I've got raw umber. Oops, got into our cloud there a little bit. I'd also love to try out a bigger set of the colors, because I like the way that they work in Amazon paper. I'm sure you've heard me say that several times, but it's true. Artex and I have been getting along a bit better. I'm starting to feel like I'm figuring out how to work their pencils, so I'm really excited to try out their new rebranding of their acrylic markers also, because they seem to have really put some thought into trying to improve the quality of those markers. So that would be nice. And then I'm going to put some India red into the bricks. next up, let's do, and I've changed my mind now that I've done this. I don't think I'm going to use those browns for the ground. I'm going to do the ground probably, oh, I don't know. I'll figure it out when I get there. All right, so let's do some grays. All right, so I've got warm gray 5 here. So these steps, I'm assuming coming up here are concrete, so I'm gonna make them a bit of a darker gray. Same with the base of the house, foundation. And then these are likely eaves troughs. And this is probably a concrete chimney. There we are. And then I'll grab warm gray 2. For all the concrete. And I'm actually going to use cool gray 1 for anything that might be metal to try and give it that that steely effect. I don't want to go too warm. Right. And then I will grab cool gray 2 to give some shadowing to these painted here, this banister here, the door frame, the window frame. And then white. Then I'm going to pull out my Faber-Castell Pitt pen in light indigo. So I think it's the perfect glass color. For the windows. Now we have to figure out the plants, the sky, and the ground. This is a hard one. This is a hard one. Okay, let's start with the sky because we know what color that's gonna be. So I'm gonna use light ultramarine. And then sky blue. Very nice. Okay, let's do the plants next. I'm gonna pull out chrome oxide green. Followed by olive green yellowish. Just creating some layers here. And sharpen here. I'm going to use cream to top that off. I'm also going to use it right here and on the door. Yes. Guess we may as well do it on the roofs too, eh? Now for the leaves, I'm gonna make them a little bit more autumny, I think. So I'm going to start with my olive green yellowish. By the way, I'm not going to be making all these minis cohesive. You know, I'm going to try my best, but because I'm using these, this is a teaching series, I'm not worried about each one of these being perfectly color matched or anything like that, because that would not be conducive to me giving you different ideas and techniques. I'm okay with them all being a little different. One day I'll probably replace this book, and maybe then I'll do them all matchy-matchy. But for the purposes of these videos, that would just not work for me. Okay, then I'm gonna pull in green gold. And finally, some more cream. Okay, before I change my mind again, I'm going to go back in with Van Dyke Brown and do the ground. And in order to keep that feeling that way, I'm using my Warm Gray 2 to finish it off. Then it's just the clouds, and I think we'll use the Warm Gray 2 again. See, sometimes you overthink it and you're like, and by the time you finally get around to doing it, it's so much easier. So I'm going to pull out my Jelly Roll White. Some accents on the windows. and soften up the lines on the clouds. So this about finishes it off for us. I hope you enjoyed this little intro to our mini series. Please let me know what you thought. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Let's get us to that 1,000 sooner rather than later. So I just want to put some little, this is a Jelly Roll Metallic copper. And I just put my hand in the cloud. Duh. Great job. There we go. And then just a Jelly Roll Metallic silver for the door handle. I literally just did it again, guys. I am not great at this. I'm so impatient. I always put my hand in gel pens or acrylic markers or whatever it is. There. Okay. We're not touching it anymore. It's done. All right. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye now.